Welcome back to Healthy Aging with Nutrition. Have you ever heard someone say, fruit is natural, so it must be healthy for diabetics too? It sounds comforting, and for years, that's what many of us believed. After all, fruits grow on trees, they're full of vitamins, and they seem like the perfect snack. But here's the truth. Not all fruits are friendly to your blood sugar, especially after 60, when your metabolism slows down and insulin resistance becomes more common. So today, we're revealing 3 fruits you should never eat regularly if you're diabetic, plus what to eat instead for more steady energy, better digestion, and fewer blood sugar crashes. These insights are based on science and real-life experience, especially for seniors trying to protect their heart, pancreas, and long-term health. And don't worry, we're not saying you need to give up fruit completely. Just make smarter choices, and your body will thank you. And if you're looking for natural, science-backed tips to enjoy the foods you love without the blood sugar roller coaster, don't forget to give this video a like and hit subscribe. We're here every week with simple tips to support healthy aging with stable blood sugar. Now, let's take a closer look at the first fruit you may want to stop buying, especially if you've been noticing sugar spikes after meals.
1. Banana, the sneaky sugar bomb. They're convenient, soft, easy to digest, and often seen as a healthy choice, especially for breakfast or as a snack. And yes, they do contain some potassium, vitamin B6, and fiber. But for people with type 2 diabetes, especially those over 60, bananas may not be the best everyday fruit. Why? A medium banana contains about 27 to 30 grams of carbohydrates, mostly from natural sugars and quickly digested starch. That's roughly the same as 2 slices of white bread. Now, the glycemic index, or GI, of a banana is around 50, which sounds okay since it's under the safe cutoff of 55. But that's only part of the story. The glycemic load, which takes into account both the GI and the portion size, is much higher, meaning bananas can still spike your blood sugar quickly, especially if you eat them alone or after a high-carb meal. So what does this mean in real life? If you're type 1 diabetic and using insulin with meals, and you plan for the banana, say 1 unit of insulin for every 10 grams of carbs, a banana may be manageable. But for many people with type 2 diabetes who are dealing with insulin resistance and aren't using insulin to balance every meal, bananas can create unexpected sugar spikes. Worse, many people enjoy bananas as dessert, right? After a rice-based lunch or a sandwich. That's where the real problem lies, stacking carbs on top of carbs. And what about potassium? You might hear that bananas are a great source, but avocados, spinach, and dark leafy greens give you even more potassium with far fewer carbs and no sugar spike. When can you eat bananas? You don't have to avoid them completely, but think of bananas like you would a slice of cake. Occasionally, not every day. If you do want to enjoy one, choose a small banana, 20 to 22 grams of carbs instead of 30. Pick one that's slightly green. It has more resistant starch, less sugar. Eat it with protein or fat, like some almond butter or plain Greek yogurt, to slow digestion. Bottom line, bananas are tasty and natural, but they're also quick sugar in disguise. If you're over 60 and managing diabetes, it's best to save them for special moments, not part of your daily fruit routine.
2. Grapes. Nature's candy, but trouble for blood sugar. Have you ever grabbed a handful of grapes thinking, it's just fruit, it must be healthy, and then realized you finished the whole bunch? Let us know in the comments. Do you snack on grapes often, and have you noticed any effect on your blood sugar? Grapes look innocent, tiny, juicy, easy to snack on, and they feel so light. Many people don't think twice about popping a few in their mouth. But here's the catch. Most grapes today have been bred to be seedless, extra sweet, and full of sugar. In fact, grapes are sometimes called nature's candy for good reason. A small handful, just 15 to 20 grapes, can pack over 20 grams of sugar with almost no fiber to slow it down. That means the sugar gets absorbed fast, leading to rapid spikes in glucose and insulin levels. The glycemic load of grapes is high, even if their glycemic index seems moderate. And for people with diabetes, especially seniors who may already have compromised insulin sensitivity, this kind of sugar rush is risky. Even worse, many people eat grapes mindlessly, as a snack while watching TV or after a meal. It's easy to go from 10 grapes to 30 without realizing it, and suddenly you've consumed as much sugar as a soda can. According to data from the USDA and research published by Harvard Health, fast-digesting fruits like grapes and raisins can significantly increase post-meal glucose and insulin levels. For seniors with diabetes, this means greater inflammation, more cravings, and a higher risk of complications. And what about raisins? Just a quarter cup of raisins has over 30 grams of sugar with 0 water content to fill you up. They're even more concentrated sugar bombs. If you're craving something refreshing and sweet without the sugar spike, try blackberries, packed with fiber, low in sugar. Blueberries, full of antioxidants, easier on blood sugar. Chilled cucumber or jicama with a squeeze of lemon, crisp, hydrating, and naturally low carb. These options satisfy your cravings without overloading your system. But grapes aren't the only innocent-looking fruit that can throw your blood sugar off. Up next is a tiny, glossy fruit that looks like a harmless dessert, but it's actually been bred to become one of the most sugar-dense fruits in stores today. Let's take a closer look at cherries and why they may be doing more harm than good if you're living with diabetes.
3. Cherries. Sweet, glossy, and surprisingly sneaky. At first glance, cherries seem harmless. They're small, beautiful, and often seen as a light treat. But did you know that many cherries today have been bred over generations to be larger, juicier, and, most importantly, sweeter? That sweetness makes them delicious, but also dangerous if you're trying to keep your blood sugar in check. A single cup of cherries contains 18 to 25 grams of sugar, depending on the variety. That's almost as much sugar as a chocolate chip cookie, without the fiber or protein to balance it out. And because they're so small and easy to snack on, it's easy to eat far more than a cup. Glycemic load warning. While cherries have a moderate glycemic index, GI, around 63, their glycemic load can climb to 14 or higher if you eat a typical bowl. For people managing type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance, that's enough to push blood sugar levels into the danger zone. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that frequent consumption of high-sugar fruits like cherries can contribute to increased insulin secretion and higher post-meal glucose levels in older adults with impaired glucose tolerance. And unlike apples or citrus fruits that are rich in fiber, cherries don't offer much to slow down sugar absorption. That means the glucose from cherries hits your bloodstream fast, triggering an insulin spike and, often, a crash soon after. healthier swaps for cherry lovers. Strawberries. They're naturally sweet, high in vitamin C, and lower in sugar. Frozen tart cherries in small amounts. Tart cherries contain less sugar than sweet varieties and are rich in antioxidants. A few raspberries or a small apple slice. More fiber, more stable energy. These alternatives give you that fruity satisfaction without the sugar overload. Cherries might look like a guilt-free snack, but if you're not careful, they can be one of the most deceptive sugar bombs in the fruit aisle. What diabetics over 60 should really avoid, beyond just fruit? Avoiding high-sugar fruits is just the beginning. If you're managing diabetes, especially after 60, there's one more important truth you need to know. It's not just sweet fruits that spike your blood sugar. It's also what's quietly hiding in your everyday meals. Many older adults are careful with desserts and sodas, but what slips under the radar are refined carbs, the kind found in white bread, instant noodles, crackers, and even healthy cereal. These foods are often made with white flour or processed grains, which have been stripped of fiber and nutrients. Your body digests them quickly, and that starch turns into sugar fast, causing the same kind of spike you'd get from a candy bar. Another hidden danger? Low-fat and diet foods. For years, we were told fat is bad and sugar is okay in moderation. But that advice backfired. Food companies removed fat from yogurt, salad dressings, and snacks, and replaced it with sugar or starch to keep the taste. The result? Blood sugar spikes, disguised as health foods. If you're eating low-fat yogurt with added fruit syrup or fat-free salad dressing, you may be flooding your body with more sugar than you think. Fruit juice is another trap. Even if it says 100% real juice, it's still concentrated sugar, just without the fiber to slow it down. One small glass of orange juice can have as much sugar as a can of soda. And because it's liquid, it digests even faster, sending your blood sugar soaring. Whole fruits, in moderation, are always a better choice. Now let's talk about snack foods. Granola bars, rice cakes, protein cookies. These often look innocent, but many are packed with hidden sugars or refined carbs. Even some diabetic-friendly snacks are highly processed and do little to help your insulin response. Always check the nutrition label and watch for ingredients like corn syrup, maltodextrin, or enriched flour. And finally, don't overlook sauces and condiments. Ketchup, barbecue sauce, sweet chili sauce, even some light vinaigrettes can be loaded with sugar. 1 tablespoon might seem small, but it adds up fast. Opt for mustard, vinegar, lemon juice, or olive oil with herbs instead.
So what's the takeaway? Managing diabetes after 60 isn't just about skipping dessert or cutting back on fruit. It's about knowing where sugar hides and how refined carbs behave just like sweets in your body. The more you reduce processed starches, sugary dressings, and low-fat traps, the more stable your blood sugar becomes, and the better you'll feel. More energy, fewer crashes, and a steadier path to long-term health. You've already made the smart move by watching this video. The next smart move? Take a look at your daily meals, not just your snacks, and start replacing hidden sugars with whole, fiber-rich, blood sugar-friendly options. Let's do this one smart step at a time. And if you found even one helpful tip in today's video, whether it was about bananas, grapes, or spotting hidden sugars, please give this video a like. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a new video on how to eat smart and support your blood sugar naturally.